Do you believe that BJP is reaching the end of this rope now? Because and the third one being addition with this Supreme Court verdict, that whatever he says, BJP cannot just put it under the rug saying कि वो कुछ भी कहते हैं. So yes, I mean, as far as his image is concerned, certainly starting from, as you mentioned, from Bharat Jodo Yatra to the vindication now, I think the image changeover is there definitely. How it uses for the India bloc, that is Brijesh, something that we are looking at now.
Pankaj, one more thing, one thing which I would like to talk about this dynasty thing is that, that in politics, one thing is very important, that how you create a narrative and how you run away with a narrative. The BJP created that narrative, dynasty narrative, and they ran away with the narrative, and the reason why they did was that there could be dynasty in the family, but the top post was not fit for
that's
dynasty.
BJP's.
That's how it is for the BJP.
Yes.
And that is the reason, that is the reason why BJP was able to run away with the narrative. Because if the top post was for for JP Nadda, then JP Nadda's son, and then for JP Nadda's daughter, or
then
like that,
would have
then they would have been, people would have just laughed and scoffed at the BJP. The reason why this charge of dynasty stuck was that it was for the Gandhi-Nehru family. And that is the reason why I don't see this charge getting blunt so much. But yes, for India also it is important, for their bloc it is important, because Rahul Gandhi will now will raise their voice more vigorously in the lower house. But honestly speaking, I think whether Rahul Gandhi was a member of parliament or Rahul Gandhi was not a member of parliament didn't had much or much of an impact the way I.N.D.I.A was functioning. Because if you look at the Bihar meeting of I.N.D.I.A and if you look at the Bangalore meeting of I.N.D.I.A, it was made crystal clear by regional parties like JDU and RJD that whether Rahul Gandhi is a member of parliament or not, he still remains the central focal point of this bloc, the doula of the bloc. So that is one aspect which is also there.
Kartikeya, this dynastic politics, obviously we have seen fingers being pointed at this India bloc also. Do you think this particular decision somehow blunts that and also gives credence to Rahul Gandhi, to what he says?
I think it gives a life to Rahul Gandhi. You see, the biggest problem which Rahul Gandhi is facing is he lost sympathy. You see, please understand, sympathy is a very important thing in Indian politics. Mrs. Gandhi had sympathy, she came back to power in 1980. Vishwanath Pratap Singh had sympathy, he defeated Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi had sympathy, he came back to power in 1984. Vajpayee ji had sympathy in 1999 because he lost his government by one vote. He was again voted back to power. Manmohan Singh had sympathy, and that is why he came back in 2009. He told this to L.K. Advani on the floor, is it my fault that I became the Prime Minister? I remember that speech because I was in Lok Sabha in the press gallery. So people, even Narendra Modi had sympathy as an underdog in 2014. People said, boss, बहुत इस आदमी को घेर के मार रहे हैं सब लोग, और ये सब लोग करप्ट है, इस आदमी में कुछ बात है. Narendra Modi just didn't win because he was a Hindu Hriday Samrat in 2014. He had sympathy of the people. He said, यही आदमी देश को बचाएगा, यही आदमी निकालेगा. You speak in terms of common man's language. This was boss, यही आदमी है, इसी के हाथ में देश सुरक्षित है. This was the narrative on which BJP worked, कि मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. What was with Atal Bihari? अब की बारी अटल बिहारी, क्योंकि तुमने उसे मौका नहीं दिया. मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. So my point is, Rahul lost that sympathy factor. Today, what Rahul is getting is now some sympathy. We underestimate the power of sympathy in South Asian politics. You have sympathy, you come back. Benazir Bhutto came back. In Bangladesh, Khalida Zia and both the war of the Begums come back on the power of sympathy.
There's also, but I would also like to add to what you were saying, Kartikeya, that there is sympathy and then there is trust. The point is that what made Vajpayee or Modi or Mrs. Gandhi, Mrs. Indira Gandhi such a towering figure, or why were people able to exercise that sympathetic flavor to them is what? Because they believed in their politics. One of the thing is that when you say that Modi hai to mumkin hai or abki bari Atal Bihari, and when people buy it, it's sympathy, but it is also trust in the fact that they will deliver whatever they are saying. Yes, that trust factor was missing in Rahul Gandhi. I think Rahul Gandhi was never taken as a serious politician. This was the biggest charge, and we kept on arguing. When we were covering Bharat Jodo Yatra, my biggest line was, what I could see there was that the thing which Rahul Gandhi was gaining post that was the trust of the normal people. The common man was there started trust, and the second you do it, there is a complete change or makeover of your personality, Pankaj. Now now you see Rahul Gandhi speaking. Do you see him doing a fumble? Now he sounds a lot more confident, because I know Yeah.
Right. Well, right. Absolutely. No, you're right. The oratory skills, if you have to match,
because
the likes of...
I remember when he was speaking in Parliament, I can't name, but there were Congress people who were like, very tense when he was talking, because people were apprehensive that God forbid, he may say one word which the BJP will run away with and will lampoon Rahul Gandhi and will criticize and kind of kill the argument there. No, there's a lot of change in that aspect.
But I think more than what's happening right now, is exuberance. But I think what is important is what Rahul Gandhi is going to say on it in Parliament. What is important is how Congress is going to milk this in Lok Sabha in front of Prime Minister.
The Congress will milk this, Kartikeya, because they will try to portray the return of it as a return of Rahul, in the Parliament. And if you go by the statement made by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is any indication to go by, he will definitely use, Rahul Gandhi आंधी बन कर आएंगे और मोदी जी को उखाड़ देंगे और so on and so forth. So all those statements is a clear pointer as to how the Congress intends to take this particular decision by the apex court inside the Lok Sabha.
Apart from this, I think very few people understand. When you are outside Lok Sabha, what it does to you. Rahul Gandhi, you lose a lot of privileges. People think that कि घर बड़ा मिल गया, गाड़ी बड़ी मिल गई, ये बात नहीं होता. You as an MP, honorable member of Parliament, you have access to certain areas of decision making. You lose it. You don't get to participate in it.
I don't think that was going to be a problem for Rahul Gandhi, Kartikeya, because
not for him, but other MPs.
Yeah. But that is not going to be a problem for Rahul Gandhi. But I think now what the Congress will do. If I was Congress party, now what I feel the Congress party is going to do is they will try to make a big brouhaha about certain decisions. The most important was the decision to evict Rahul Gandhi from that house. Ideally,
yes,
he should have been allowed to stay in that house till apex court takes a decision. But the alacrity with which the entire situation was handled, the alacrity with which his disqualification came, and immediately he was asked to vacate the house and all, I think the Congress will definitely try to make a martyr out of Rahul Gandhi's return and portray something like that the government tried their level best, all the dirty tricks department was unleashed, he was evicted, kicked out of his house, not evicted, kicked out of his house. I mean the narrative part which I'm saying, and then then he makes a turnaround and makes a grand comeback.
Well, Brijesh, it looks like Congress has actually the same thing in mind. One word tweet that Congress's handle says I.N.D.I.A, that says Jananayak. Well, Kartikeya, हिंदी में कहते हैं जैसे बाँछें खिल गई हो. कांग्रेस के लिए अभी आई थिंक
बाँछें खिल गई, सही बोला तुमने, बाँछें खिल गई हैं. जिस तरह कर्नाटक के बाद जो बाँछ खिली है,
आइसिंग ऑन द केक है.
हाँ, सही बोला तुमने.
तो इसमें हाउ डिजर्विंग इट इज. आई मीन अधीर रंजन चौधरी, मैंने इनको हमेशा एक बड़ी चिंतित मुद्रा में देखा है. ये पहली बार मैं उनको देख रहा हूँ कि
I tell you something, I used to make fun of it. Jairam Ramesh in a very informal meeting, a lot of people were asking. And I can say this, a lot of people were saying, why do we have to work with Rahul Gandhi? I'm not going to name the Congress people
well,
who were there.
Don't.
Why do we need to work with Rahul Gandhi? Why do we have to work with him? We can work with other people. There were a lot of people from media department. There were a lot of people from social media. There were a lot of people because, Jairam is a professorial guy, So he allows a sort of a democratic conversation. What he said was so telling. It is so true. Jairam said in that meeting, I was not sitting, but someone told me, boss, this is what we have. So the guy said, what do we have? So Jairam Ramesh said, boss, we have Rahul Gandhi and we got to work with Rahul Gandhi because there is no other thing we can work against Bharatiya Janata Party. So the guy said, what? Rahul Gandhi is not working. So the guy said, that is why it is important for us to make him work. And this was before Bharat Jodo Yatra. And I'm giving that number to Jairam Ramesh because he said that in that meeting. And at that point of time, people would have made fun of him. But look at Bharat Jodo Yatra. Look at the things which happened after that. I am not saying that the Congress is coming back to power. I am not saying that the Prime Minister, Modi is looking at a big defeat. I am saying that the Congress party gradually
now have a leg in the ring.
Leg in the ring. अखाड़े में कूद पड़ आ गई है. मैं नहीं कह रहा कि पैंट पहन के वो एकदम वो भी 46 इंच का सीना है, नहीं उतना नहीं है भाई. लेकिन वो कम से कम they have put a leg in the ring. That is what has happened. So my point is very simple, and this is what Jairam said. So Congress has nothing else but Rahul Gandhi to work with. Mallikarjun Kharge is doing a fabulous job. But who campaigns for the Congress party?
Rahul Gandhi.
Rahul Gandhi. Who travelled Bharat Jodo Yatra? Rahul Gandhi.
Crisscrossed.
Mallikarjun Kharge is trying to deflect that charge from the Gandhi family boss that, taken over the party. That's it. Nothing more than that. Meanwhile,
and if I may use the line which was said by Prime Minister Modi, that they are saying that हमारे राज में इतना बढ़ गया है, तो एक किस्मत वाले को ही चुन लो ना. And it was it made the headline. I think right now Mallikarjun Kharge is acting as a Nazar Battu of the Congress party. I mean, right now,
no, but
right now, all
Nazar Battu. आपकी नजर लगे, हाँ, evil eye. जैसे देखते बुरी नजर वाले.
Election was won under him. And the kind of strides which Congress is making, acceptability and all of Mallikarjun Kharge is on that.
Mallikarjun Kharge is a lucky totem. मतलब है जहाँ सब फेल हो गए वहाँ 80 साल के Kharge साहब सक्सेसफुल हो गए.
लेकिन it kills two birds with one stone for Congress. एक तरफ अगर मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे को आप नहीं लाते तो ऐसे ही आप फेस करते कि भाई परिवारवाद है.
How do you blend that? But
you don't know what, when Manmohan Singh became the prime minister, people said यार ये क्या बना दिया इनको, ये तो चुनाव नहीं जीत पाते हैं, हार जाएंगे. But I remember in 2009 the campaign was Singh is King, and I was in Jalandhar and Manmohan Singh took out that sword like that. Even before Rahul Gandhi could come, people were saying Singh is King, Singh is King, Singh is King, and I was like, boss, ye kya ho gaya?
At least he got 5 more years.
And then when Mallikarjun Kharge became the president of the Congress party, people said, ye kisko bana diya? He's not a practicing Hindu, he's a Buddhist, he's an atheist, and suddenly you have Mr. Kharge bhi in Himachal Pradesh, you have Mr. Kharge bhi in Karnataka, you have Kharge in charge of other political parties as the president of the Congress party. The Congress office has become functional. I have covered this party for 20 years. Okay, now 20 years. 2003 I started covering it. 2003. Boss, the office of the Congress president used... यार चाय देना यार.
ये आपकी है, लीजिए.
तो कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट का दफ्तर बंद रहता था. ताला चाबी बंद रहता था. We used to make fun as reporters, बॉस ये तो बंद ही रहता है. फिर एक दूसरा कमरा बंद हो गया क्योंकि उस कमरे में राहुल गांधी का नाम लग गया. Then the joke with the Congress reporters ये भी बंद हो गया. Mallikarjun Kharge opened up the entire Congress office. It has become functional. You go to Congress office, he sits there. So Mallikarjun Kharge बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने, मतलब नजर बट्टू है. उन्होंने कांग्रेस पार्टी की नजर उतार दी.